Alrighty guys, hello and welcome back to a brand new story video, guys. Welcome to part 4 of my Haitian adventures. Now, as you guys heard about my very first mission, this is my second mission. And I'm just going to get right into it. But so basically what happened was we woke up and we had our breakfast. And let me just tell you guys something. So in Haiti, they do not have the best quality food. And that's kind of a given. But they give their best food to us, which is really awesome. But one of the girls on our team actually brought another jar of Nutella. And Nutella really made everything a lot more sweeter because there was not much sugar that we could have. And this Nutella was fantastic. However, when you eat it for a whole week straight, and that's basically all you eat for 3 meals a day, well, that on top of other stuff, you start to get sick of it, which is why currently to this day I hate Nutella. So yeah, don't worry, just hate on me for that. But anyway, so we wake up, we eat breakfast, and we get into our tap and we go to this village that's basically about 1.5 hours away. Now we go to this village once a day for the next 3 days. And basically we arrive, and I noticed that it's actually on a hill this time, so we can overlook like the harbors and we can overlook the mountains. It's really cool. It was a really cool spot. It's actually, yeah, it was on a big mountain, like hills thing. So what it was actually going to be a seminary. Now a seminary is where they teach pastors in training, and it's kind of like a college where you learn like how to be a pastor and stuff. So we were actually helping out there. So we were actually building the dormitories or the condos where the pastors in training actually stay. It's just kind of like any other college where students stay, and they stay overnight and you get their food and stuff there, and we were actually helping to build that. So what that consisted of was we would take a bunch of buckets of water from a cistern at the bottom of the hill, and we'd grab these and we would take them to the top of the hill, and then we would dump them into a cement mixer where the workers could then lay the cement for the houses itself. So it was really hard work because they were 5-gallon buckets, and little weak 12-year-old or 11-year-old me at the time could not hold 5-gallon buckets very well, and so I was having a hard time doing that. Basically what happens was the entire length of up and down the hill was about 200 feet, so we would carry the water up the hill and then go down the hill with like empty buckets. And so it was no easy task, and we probably did about 20 to 30 trips each up there per day. And it wasn't that bad, but it was a lot more difficult for me. And basically in the afternoons we would actually start playing soccer with these kids, and these kids were completely different from the kids in the first village, and so we got wrecked again. See, that doesn't change. Is everyone here plays soccer? That is like the sport of this country. Everyone plays soccer. Now, me being a basketball player, I got destroyed once again. As you guys remember from my last story, I got destroyed in soccer. And basically what we do with the kids is after the soccer game, we'll do them we'll teach them a little lesson and stuff. And my mom actually did that. She taught them lessons on just different stuff like Bible stories and stuff with our translators. And if they behaved, we would actually give them candy. Now, not all these kids were like tiny kids. Some of them were older than me probably, and they would still like be like, "Oh my gosh, candy! Oh yeah!" And that's relatable. I love candy, but anyway, sometimes they were really rude and actually demanded candy. They were like, "Give me candy," and actually they kind of sound like that too. They like, "Give me candy," and of course we wouldn't give it to them because they're being rude, and we only had a certain amount of candy anyway. And the funny thing was, my brother had braces at the time, and one of the kids were actually like, "Give me bling bling," because he wanted my brother's shiny teeth, which was kind of disturbing now that I think about it. But anyway, so sometimes if they were rude, we would not give them candy. So basically my mom would continue to read stories, and during that time I actually met this really cool guy. Now his name was Jacques. It was Jacque, I believe. And what was really cool about him was we were the exact same age and had the exact same birthday and birth year. So we were both about 11 or 12 at the time, which was really cool. And so I met him, and we kind of just were homies for the rest of the week. So we would kind of just hang out with each other, and just although a language barrier was present, we were trying to communicate as best as we could. But it was really cool just to meet this guy. He just was definitely really cool, and I was so glad to have met him. So anyway, after that first day, we drive home, and this was 2 days after we drive home, and on our last day we actually fill up a bunch of water balloons. We fill up like 200, 300 water balloons, and we bring them back to the place because we want the kids to have a water fight, which I think would be hilarious. So all these kids are like not sure what to do with the balloon. So I take one and I just peg my brother, and they're all like, "Oh my gosh, we get to throw sacks of water at all of our white friends." And oh my gosh, that's so bad. Anyway, so basically we brought a bunch for them, and we had about a great minute of fun because they took those things and just threw them at each other. Lots of them actually just splashed on themselves, which I thought was really funny. They didn't even try to throw it at other people. They just like, "No, bro, I'm just gonna throw it on myself." And so I thought that was kind of funny. So we got done with what we needed to do. We actually helped out a lot on that dormitory, and we actually drained the entire cistern of water. And it was a huge cistern too, but they needed a lot of water for cement, so we did that. And then we drive home, and that was our last day actually. So we drive home and we kind of just relax for the day. We kind of like recap and just kind of like have some downtime before we head out of Haiti the next day. So that was good. It was kind of a bittersweet moment. It was really cool to have met that guy, Jock, whatever. Because a lot of people from Haiti are actually derived from France, like the French. So Creole, the language Creole has a lot of like French in it. And so Jock is kind of like a French name too. But anyway, so we drive home and we prepare for the next day. And that, guys, is what I'll be talking about next week. So guys, stay tuned for part 5. That will be my last and final story. And I believe I may be home next week. I can't even think because I'm doing this actually like 7 days before I'm actually leaving. But when I get home, I will upload a different story that's not Haiti related. I do have another story about Haiti, but I will not tell it right now because I'm not gone for 6 weeks. I'm gone for 5, and there's 5 parts to this entire series. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys, well, in a few weeks. So see you guys there.